Very briefly, what you're saying, got it. 1 minute, 1 minute, 1 minute, 1 minute. Very good. 30 seconds. Go.
say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the red hearts we watched, they're so gallantly streaming, and the rockets with glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
I'd say good evening, but I will say good morning. Happy Mother's Day. I'm Rick Kaufman, and I'm the principal of Eaton High School. I'd like to present to you the 2021 graduating class of Eaton High School. I would be remiss to say that the district has their Amy Lemon and the high school has their Lori Selby, and there's a lot of work that goes into hosting this thing, and I just want to say thank you to the staff and to Mrs. Selby for being able to pull off such a wonderful event. And obviously we've got the weather that everyone was hoping for. Graduates, parents, families, and friends, welcome to the graduation for the class of 2021. Could we please pause for a moment of silence to honor our fallen students? Thank you. We have been challenged in ways we have never been experienced this past school year, and in the same breath, the students, staff, and families have been exemplary in our approach to provide a quality education to our school and community. Excellence continues to define the school and our community. In the co-curricular world, we hosted over 60 different non-athletic events this year, and we hosted over 60 athletic contests this past school year as well. None of this could have been possible without the involvement and the compliance for the community just in giving us the space we needed to do to get us to this point today. The senior class was blessed by 40 community-based scholarships totaling over $40,000. Again, the community investing in its future. Awesome. One of the better graduation quotes from 2005, given to the Stanford graduates by Steve Jobs, quote unquote, Your time is limited, so don't waste it living someone else's life. Don't let the noise of others' opinions drown out your own inner voice. And most important, have the courage to follow your own heart and mind. This group of students behind me, they're not survivors, they're thrivers. You've heard enough from me, and now it's time to honor our graduates from the class of 2021. Would the troubadours and our student speakers please come forward? You may sit if you'd like, or you can stand for the whole thing. Actually, at this moment, if I could have Jaden, Caitlin, and Jennifer and Emma come forward, please. My mother had eyes in the back of her head. I didn't have that luxury. First speaker will be Jaden Johnson, and he is the current valedictorian. His mother wanted to know if that was gold, and I bid it, and sadly it's not. Jaden, it's all yours.
All right, this is my first time speaking in front of this many people, so if I make some mistakes, please bear with me. Hello. First of all, congratulations to the class of 2021. In the words of Drake, we made it. I feel as if we've all been looking forward to this day forever. And now that it's finally here, I'm kind of anxious. I mean, we've all grown so much. I went from struggling to read and scribbling down vocab words with incomprehensible handwriting in Miss Adams' kindergarten class to a graduating senior, soon to be starting my journey in higher education. And I still can't read my own handwriting. Thank you, Miss Adams. I'm only kidding. That one's on me. Graduation is a huge accomplishment, and we as a class have exceeded the expectations with a 100% graduation rate. Everyone always says that our high school years will be some of the best of our lives, and I believe that in the years to come, we will look back upon this time with fondness. I will always remember playing Mario Kart from the projector in Senora Griffin's room, Cameron failing a backflip at prom, and then doing it again at the pool a few days later. Kids doing burnouts in front of the school, fighting faction wars in Minecraft during Mr. Corbett's video game advising, and just hanging out in teachers' rooms during their plans. On top of the memories, our class was instrumental in winning both the football and softball state championships this year, and a handful of others since we were freshmen. This competitive spirit transferred from everything from academics to marching band to Knowledge Bowl to fighting for the Spirit Stick at pep rallies. And high school has been a magnificent experience all in all. I'm very glad to have had the opportunity to experience it with all of you. Looking back on these past 4 years, the most important thing I believe I've learned took place not within the classroom, but as a consequence of it. The most important lesson I've learned is that of introspection. You see, when you don't do the best on a test or an assignment, if you don't qualify for state, if you don't hit that game-winning shot, it's not the end of the world. In fact, it's more analogous to the beginning. And you might beat yourself up for it. I know I sure did. In the moment of perceived failure, there's pain, because another battle is raging. This battle takes place off the court, outside the classroom, and instead within the mind. When an outcome of an event does not lead to the desired result, one comes face to face with a forked road. Down one path, there's the choice to give up, dismiss the letdown as a one-off instance, or as an outcome due to pure luck. The other is the path of introspection, where one truly examines the causes of their mistakes and chooses to learn from it. It is extremely easy to dismiss your mistakes as a result of causes out of your control, perhaps even too easy. This is truly the hardest part of growth. Acknowledging that you may be the root cause of some of the mistakes you make is vital to recognizing your flaws. With a true understanding of one's own flaws, there's infinite possibility to correct and better oneself. Recognizing the importance of one's mistakes leads to improvement, which is the most important aspect of introspection. Without mishaps, inconveniences, and setbacks, growth and amelioration nears the realm of impossibility. While success is wonderful, it is imperative that we recognize the fact that our blunders lead to the most enrichment. As President Barack Obama once said, if you're walking down the right path and you're willing to keep walking, eventually you'll make progress. But enough with the serious stuff, as today marks an incredible success for all of us. As we continue on into the bright futures ahead of us, I urge each and every one of you to never stop improving. Finally, I need to offer a few words of thanks to those who have made the past few years of our academic imprisonment actually somewhat enjoyable. Thank you to Ms. Gira, who has edited every single piece of writing I have produced since the beginning of junior year, including this one. And no, that oversized men's t-shirt is not a dress. Thank you to Ms. Duncan, who has helped me gain an appreciation for just how difficult math can be. Thank you to Mr. Weigel for trying his best to stay hip with the kids. Thank you to Mr. Goning, who is always there anytime I need some last-minute adulting help. Thank you to Senora, who is always willing to sit down and just talk about any problems I may have. And thank you to the entirety of the faculty and staff who work so hard to make this school the best it can be. Thank you to my family, who I love and depend on immensely. They have been so supportive throughout my entire high school career. My mom, dad, 2 sisters, niece, and nephews inspire me beyond belief. And I know as a fact that I would not be standing up here giving this speech had my mom not called me every morning I slept through my alarm, nor if my dad hadn't been there to talk me through some stressful times. Thank you to my friends and my peers who've raised me to be the person I am today. Happy graduation, and perhaps even more importantly, happy Mother's Day.
Number 1. That baby.
You said something pretty important there, introspection and ownership. And after introspection and ownership, Mr. Doddridge, would you play a musical piece for us with your educated and talented musicians? Thank you. That was just some special stuff that our students put on. When I started here years ago, I think we would have been lucky to have a kazoo band. So phenomenal work. Caitlin, our next speaker is co-salutatorian, Caitlin Adams.
Henry David Thoreau once said, I should probably wait for him to sit down. Light. We'll try again. Henry David Thoreau once said, "For it matters not how small the beginning may seem to be, what is once well done is done forever." This is sticky. Here in Eaton, Colorado, the class of 2021 has had its small beginning. Our class of 117 has grown and learned as students and people. For many of us, Eaton is all we have ever known. We've been given our identity here. From the time we sat on those gross blue and purple rugs at the feet of our kindergarten teacher, to fourth grade when we dressed up as famous people from the past and had to pretend we were that person for the night, to all those awkward middle school dances, and to now, as we just completed our last day of high school. Every single moment of our years here has made us who we are, and honestly, I think we all turned out pretty good. But at Eaton High School, we've been given so much. All of our motivation has been within reach at all times. Choosing to do our schoolwork was dependent on whether or not we cared about our grades. Our actions and behaviors have been based on our desire to win the approval of the adults around us. Every single thing we do is all based on something we have learned from our town and school. But the thing is, Eaton, Colorado covers less than 1% of the Earth's surface. There is so much world we have not seen yet. And now we have the opportunity to go out and embrace it, to be a part of it. As we begin to venture out into the world and take advantage of the opportunities before us, what will become the motivating factor that was once our teachers and parents? What's going to push us to do the absolute best we can be and do the absolute best we can do? It is up to us and our generation to make changes in this world. As the class of 2021, we have something that many of the classes in the past did not. We have lived through a world pandemic. We have seen the adversity that has shaken our country. And hopefully, as a result, we have learned the strength and patience to endure the things we cannot change or control. These events have set the stage for us to find ways to do better, to be better. Now going out into this world, we have the opportunity to do exactly that. We are able to find what will motivate us and push us to do what we see needs to be done. Nothing is restricting us from doing well. Growing up in this small town has not put us at a disadvantage, but allows us to move forward, taking who we are and what we have learned wherever we go. We can take the closeness of a small town, the sense of community, the willingness to lend a helping hand, and share those important values with everyone we come in contact with. In relation to Thoreau, Desmond Tutu once said, "Do your little bit of good where you are. It's those little bits of good put together that overwhelm the world." As you are in the midst of walking into your future, what good will you do? I know the potential and capabilities of all of you. Both together and apart, I believe we can accomplish so much. To the graduates, I challenge all of you as you graduate and wander off into the world to find your motivation, wherever it may be, to find what you are passionate about and exceed all the limitations that you are placed within. To take a little part of this small town with you wherever you go, and ultimately to do well, because as Thoreau said, what is once done well is done forever. Thank you.
Next up, we have the co-salutatorian, Jenny Jernigan. And that's exactly what we were trying to avoid.
Where's it at? All right, here we go. Something that I was so inspired by and loved about the 2021 class is the amount of strength we all carry. As we know, this year has been anything but ordinary. We went from not even finishing our junior year in person to arriving in the fall with all different kinds of restrictions to now finally being here at graduation with a full crowd. It honestly sucks we did not get the year we deserved to finish our high school careers. There was a delayed start to the school year, to sports seasons, and sometimes even a lack of audience for our music programs and theater shows. We couldn't even see the faces of our classmates or teachers because of the mask we were required to wear. All of these things could have come in the way and stopped what we were capable of doing, but we did not let that happen. Every day we worked hard in the class and got our assignments done, and done well. We stood up for our school district and proved that we could have a productive year in school. We handled the quarantines well and adapted gracefully throughout the constant changes. This school year was tough for many districts, but no match for the strength and resilience of this senior class. Not only were we strong in our schoolwork, we were strong in our support for one another. This year made us realize how important it is to be involved and never take what you're able to do for granted. We seniors participated in all that we could and went out with a bang. Even with limitations on seating, we found ways to have student sections at every athletic event. We were sitting in the audience at the choir and theater performances. We found ways to make this school year just as memorable, even when all the fun stuff was taken away. We did not let these restrictions ruin our last year. We built our senior year and made a name for ourselves. Strength is written all over this class's name. Throughout 4 years, we were challenged with adversity, and every time we overcame it. We have accomplished so much throughout our high school careers. Our class was a part of 5 different state championships, including marching band, volleyball, wrestling, softball, and football. Hopefully we can add 2 more of these to the list by the end of the summer. We have also had countless state appearances. As a class, we received 39 different awards for the yearbooks we produced, not even including this year's. The newspaper staff has received dozens of awards for their work on the red ink. Our music program has always been amazing, and these musicians in this grade have been a part of 14 different band awards, including several honor bands. Our singers are not far behind, making it into several honor choirs, having many CHSAA medalists, and our troubadours have been recognized every year since 2018. They even have been chosen to represent the state of Colorado at the 100th anniversary of the Lincoln Memorial performance in Washington, D.C. There are tons more individual accomplishments that could be added to this list, but this just shows how strong our grade is. We never gave up on ourselves and pushed to be part of so many great achievements. The strength is never going to leave this group of people. We will carry this attitude into our futures and continue to check goals off our list. We are a group that has experienced tragedy, a pandemic, a great community, and so much more. All these experiences made us the strong individuals we are and will continue to shape us as we go through life. We will never be afraid of what's in front of us because of the strong foundation we created here at Eaton High School. Thank you.
Our final student speaker today will be Emma Blazkowski, our president of Student Council. I think that's you.
That's not me.
That's not you.
It's one of those. As I started thinking about what I wanted to talk about today,
I thought about how easy it would be to talk about how the pandemic and COVID-19 affected our class. I could talk about how we didn't get a traditional senior year or how we weren't able to do a number of things we've looked forward to our entire lives. However, I didn't want to focus on talking about what we missed out on, rather on what we was fortunate enough to have learned in our time at Eaton High School. When contemplating these last 4 years, memories came flooding in. The first day of freshman year brought with it the slightly traumatic tunnel of love, first day of school assembly, and the initial excitement of finally being with the big kids. From there, my pride in my school truly began to grow. Being an Eaton Red became something that I valued and held in high esteem. Later, during freshman year, our link leaders began teaching us the Eaton acronym. For those that don't know, it stands for Excellence, Awareness, Tenacity, Ownership, and Noteworthiness. Those 5 letters have come to represent what being a Red means to me. As I became a link leader myself, I was tasked with teaching the acronym and all it comes with to the younger classes. As I taught this, one of the letters always stuck with me. Noteworthiness is something I heavily associate with being a Red. Across Northern Colorado, there is no argument that Eaton is the school to beat. Eaton has and always will be a front runner. While I knew this coming into high school, I never expected to see it play out right in front of my eyes. Even in my 4 years here, trophies have been added to the trophy case and banners hung up on the gym wall. Every time I view these accolades, noteworthiness is on the forefront of my mind. Whether it be winning competitions, academically excelling, or becoming people we are proud to be, each of us has defined noteworthiness in our own ways. I know we've been asked by our teachers and administrators what noteworthiness means to us, and I think this is one of the most important questions I've ever been asked. Looking to your left and looking to your right, not one person in this stadium is going to have the same future that you have, and that is something I want us all to take advantage of. Coming from Eaton gives us a leg up because we truly have been given the tools to make a name for ourselves. I urge you, don't let this go to waste. Whether you resonate with the concept of noteworthiness or not, I want each of us to take a look at what we value. Do you value success? Or maybe relationships? Or are you focused on the experiences? Whatever your answer to this question, your experiences at Eaton have laid the groundwork. Over our 4 years, I can confidently say each of us made progress towards these goals. While our next steps are going to look wildly different, it is important to remember the values that developed us into the people sitting here today. While this day is about celebrating our success and accomplishments, please do not forget to thank those who have gotten us here. Hug your family, hug your teachers, hug your classmates. They're rooting for you. Thank you, class of 2021.
Testing. Oh, there we go. This next piece has a perfect graduation message. The composer says, Omnia Soul goes beyond the obvious subject of a farewell or song of parting, although it certainly has that as an integral aspect. From a deeper perspective, it's a reflection on the constant passage of events and people in life's continuum, and the human need to anchor words of love and commitment in the hearts of those who have been pillars along life's way. In that manner, the ever-changing chaos of life seems to find a piece of solid ground in the simple assurance that no one is ever truly alone. One's life has an inseparable kinship with others. The metaphor for that kinship in this song is Omnia Soul, or everywhere light. And that kinship or light is perpetuated by our daily investing in leaving a bit of ourselves in every soul we encounter. Though we mature and we move on, part of us is stayed in the hearts and minds of those relationships we've formed along the way.
As our seniors rejoin their group, I will introduce Superintendent Mr. Jay Tapia.
Bear with me for 1 minute. I'm going to turn my back to you guys. Congratulations, Eaton High School class of 2021. I'm so very proud of each and every one of you. You guys are incredible leaders, and I know you're going to do big things. Congratulations. Congratulations to all parents and family members that helped get these seniors to this point. Thank you to each and every teacher and staff member that helped them along this journey. Board members, Mr. Carey, Mrs. Young, Mrs. Clary, and Mr. Singer. It is my distinct pleasure and honor to inform you that the Eaton High School class of 2021, seated here before you, has met, or in many cases exceeded, the graduation requirements set forth by the Eaton School District Board of Education and the Colorado Department of Education. I hereby confirm that these graduates of Eaton High School are ready for their next step in their lives. Congratulations, seniors. Eaton Board of Education Vice President Matt Carey, Principal Rick Kaufman, please proceed with the presentation of their diplomas. Thank you.
Worth the wait.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is my honor and privilege to introduce the class of 2021. Caitlin Joy Adams. Leslie Ashley Apodaca Cruz. Angel Arroyo. Stephen Arroyo Ramos. Rachel Lacey Ballard. Caden Tyler Betters. Madeline Johnsy Biggers. Michael Paul Biggers. Emma Louise Blaskowski. Carlos Bonilla Gonzalez, Jr. Merrick Landon Booth. Colby Ray Branham. Jonathan Donald Brantner. Orrin Brian Brown. Jake Ashton Burkholder. Gage David Butler. Mitchell Cameron Byrne. Sydney Joanna Carlson. Giselle Lene Chumasaro. Robert Garrett Copeland. Angela Covarrubias Garcia. Caitlin Ray Cowell. Miranda Lee Crisp. McKenna Elizabeth Dalton. Austin Thomas Decker. Blake Keenan Dilka. Rebecca Rose Dowdy. Megan Marie Elliott. Jocelyn Magali Espinoza Leos. Connor James Fisher. Hannah Marie Christine Fries Hansen. Garrett Manuel Gallegos. Araceli Isabel Garcia. Cameron Sean Gartrell. McKenna Nicole Gentry. Gabriel Alexander Gherkin. Evan Taylor Giesig. Scott Keith Grable. Jessica Marie Guerra. Wyatt Taylor James Hall. Tobias Wesley Toussaint Harper. Abigail Lee Hayes. Austin Michael Hayes. Genesis Clary Hembry. Casey Renee Henricks. Daniel Hernandez. Liam Sean Hernandez. Judith Alejandra Hernandez Contreras. Aspen Ray Hockley. Annalise Lynn Holte. Jennifer Joe Jarnigan. Jaden David Johnson. Cale Thomas Jordan. Kylie Dawn Kaiser. Kylie Shea Keeler. Nakaya Ryan Kusky. Cole Dmitry Kuzov. Zachary Gable Lampy. Jackson Tyler Leafgren. Sydney Elizabeth Leffler. Joseph Thomas Lindsley. Brenna Cameron Lloyd Green. Arlie Lizette Luna Cristobal. Juan Pedro Maravilla Jr. Richard Cade Mawson. Adeline Marie Melman. Logan Daniel Mosier. Timothy Allen Nelson. Delaney Gray Oshner. Brolin Thomas O'Connell. Sarah Catherine Ogden. Essence Michaela Orozco. Jenilyn Alexis Overton. Kaylin May Parrish. Leslie Christina Perez. Candida Elizabeth Perez Gongora. Rebecca Lynn Fife. Michael Cody Prather. Everett Ryan Preston. Trevor Michael Proctor. Yaritza Heavenly Puente. Raymond John Robert Reese. Simon Alexander Wusthof Reichel. Zane Alexander Renner. Ian Joseph Richling. Haley Josephine Riddle. Natalia Alicia Rincon. Chantel Rivera Flores. Marco Andres Rodriguez Furman. Salvador Rojas. Dylan Michael Schmidtke. Alexis Lee Schmidt. Cole Michael Shoemaker. Nicholas Oren Sell. Grace Marie Smith. Jared Jeffrey Smith. Elijah John Taylor. Jordan Ray Tomlinson. Christopher James Travis. Arthur Tanner True. Grady Stephen Turrentine. Ryan Paul Ure. Alika Ann Velasquez. Jaden Faith Wagner. Madison Taylor Walls. Brooke Hannah Walpole. Abigail James Warziniak. Josiah Joseph White. Benjamin Paul Williams. Emma Jean Williams. Jamie Christine Woody. Shelby Danae Wright. Lane Earl Wyatt. Destiny Joanne Wynn. Ladies and gentlemen, the class of 2021.
While Jenny's working her way up here, I am not declaring any of that on my taxes. Thank you.
Over the past 18 years, our class has become closer and endured so much. Last week has opened our eyes to the future, but made us look back on our past. I think I speak for all of us when I say Eaton has given us so many unforgettable memories and valuable friendships. As we spend our last time together at Eaton High, we should realize how lucky we are to be a part of such an amazing community and all the lessons it taught us. Thank you to all the staff, students, and families who made it so memorable. Now the time has finally come. Graduates, you may now move your tassel from the right to the left of your cap. Congratulations, class of 2021. You may now throw your caps. Woo!